Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Yo, so is it true that Silver Surfer can actually die? Well, in the death of the Silver Surfer number 1, it throws us straight into the cosmic deep and takes us on a wild ride. Right off the bat, we see the Silver Surfer doing what he does best, protecting life across the universe. He steps into the messy Santo Marcan Civil War, using the power of cosmic to save lives and neutralize a black hole that's threatening to wipe out the entire alien war zone. For the Silver Surfer, every life, no matter the species or planet, is worth saving, and he's all about keeping the cosmic balance intact. But just as we're getting comfortable with his well-known galactic heroics, we meet the Major Kelly Ko, an agent stationed on the orbital space station that serves as the headquarters for the Bureau of Alien Neutralization, or BAN. BAN sounds pretty random and gloomy because it kinda is, right? Ko is a former shield and sword operative and is all about tracking, capturing, and when necessary, exterminating extraterrestrial threats on Earth. This brings us to director Davis Harmon, Ko's boss and the dude running the show. Harmon is frustrated since he hasn't had any high-profile neutralizations lately. The usual heroes like the Avengers or X-Men are too established in Earth's politics to go after, so Harmon actually decides to set his sights on someone less connected, which is the Silver Surfer. Not only is he powerful and invisible, but his recent involvement in the Santo Marcan Civil War gives Harmon the perfect excuse to spin the narrative, essentially painting the Silver Surfer as someone interfering with national sovereignty and stepping where he doesn't belong. So Ko gets sent to the new mission, hunting down and eliminating the Silver Surfer. She's able to arm herself with a specially designed, cosmically adapted weapon, and eventually finds and attacks the Surfer. During this battle, Ko actually deals what looks to be a killer blow, but if you know anything about the power of cosmic, you know the Silver Surfer really isn't going down that easy, right? Instead, his powers actually end up healing him in this massive explosion that actually leaves Ko unconscious. And so here's where it kind of gets interesting, right? When Ko wakes up, she's not in a lab or sort of like any holding cell, but in her mother's house, right? Yep, that's right, guys. The Silver Surfer personally took her to rest. Instead of like sort of retaliating, he shows compassion because that's just who he is. Meanwhile, Harmon is furious at Ko's failure and decides to put the Silver Surfer's hunt on pause. Instead, he orders her to go after Scar, setting up a trap that could bring the Surfer back into play. Now, in terms of first impressions, this issue feels different than your typical Marvel story. Greg Pak does like an increasing setup or sets of increasing setup, placing a morally questionable character in direct opposition to one of Marvel's most notable heroes. It plays highly with the uncomfortable concept, which is an agent hunting down like the Silver Surfer for business reasons rather than any real explanation or reason. And let's talk about Kelly Ko, because she's one of the most divisive parts of this issue. She's not really a hero, not really anti-hero, just straight up problematic. As for the mission, it's borderline unethical and written a little loose, right? She's built for straight up combat, but that doesn't necessarily make her someone you want to root for in Marvel Comics. Pak plays with the idea of making Ko a character that people struggle to relate to, and that's somewhat a risky move, especially for his first issue. And then there's like director Harmon's plan, which feels somewhat absurd, right, guys? Killing the Silver Surfer will somehow boost Eagle Star, right, which is his private company. I mean, the question is how, right? Will he get any exclusive bounties? Don't know, right? It's never really explained, making his motives a little foggy at best, and unfortunately a little ridiculous at worst, right? As for the art, if there's one undeniable highlight of this issue, it's the artwork by Samit Kumar. The cosmic landscapes, the fluidity of the Silver Surfer's movements, and the awesome little distant galaxies, as well as war zones, are just all visually stunning. As for Ko, her cybernetic enhancements give off some serious battle Alita vibes, mixing nice futuristic tech with grounding human sentiments, especially like the touching scenes with her mother that you kind of see after he was defeated by Silver Surfer, right? But what's the takeaway, right, guys? Death of the Silver Surfer number 1 delivers an interesting visual experience and unexpected idea, but it really leaves readers scratching their heads about its lead character and motivations, right? But if you're in it for the art, you won't be disappointed, guys. If you love cosmic Marvel stories, seeing the Surfer in action, and getting deep into the power of cosmic lore, this book does have some standout moments. But if you're hoping for a more compelling protagonist, Kelly Ko might not be it. And the justification for the mission, is really sketchy at best, right? So will this story actually take a turn for the better in the later issues? Will Ko redeem herself, or will Harmon's ridiculous corporate evil plan fall flat, right? We'll just have to wait and see. But what do you think, guys? Drop your comments below, and thanks for joining today as we took a deeper look into the death of Silver Surfer number 1. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content, coolest Marvel comics around. Until next time, folks, keep on reading.